Hey guys, Laura Parrish here, and I'm coming to you live from my home in Harrisonburg, Virginia, here on the East Coast. And depending on where you live, where you're at, and what your sleep habits are, it's either really late or super early for you because it's like, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning here. So I'm looking at my calendar. It's officially Thursday, the 16th of July, 2015. But I wanted to shoot this video. As you can see, I'm wide awake and I'm excited. I had a team call tonight and I shared some pretty powerful stuff, and I thought maybe it could benefit you as well. So I thought I would shoot this video for you really quick and share that information. So here goes, right? Like, have you heard the saying before that nothing changes if nothing changes? Or if you do the same things over and over and over again and expect different results, that's the definition of insanity, right? And that's absolutely true. But sometimes people hear things like that, but they don't get it, right? Like, what does that really mean? So I thought of a way to explain it a little bit differently that maybe sometimes someone would get, right? So here it goes. Let me ask you something. If I were to come to your house and spend a few hours with you, I don't know, like 3 or 4 hours, and just evaluate what you're doing, how you're spending your time, would I leave with like a testimony about what you're doing, your time management skills, how your focus is on your goals, whether they be business goals or personal goals, right? Or would I leave with saying, this person's not really got it together? Would you rate yourself a 10 out of a 10, right? So here's the question. What's 1 plus 1? And I think everyone can answer that. 1 plus 1 will forever be 2, right? As long as 1 plus 1 is on the left side of the equation, what's on the right side of that equation, on the right side of that equal sign, is going to be the number 2, right? If it's 1 plus 1, the answer is always 2. So if you desire for your results to be a 6 or an 8 or even a 10, then you have to change what's on the left side of the equation, right? Which means you have to change your attitude and your behaviors towards what you're doing, your goals, right? Your business, and focus on that. Because if you don't focus on your goals, if you don't pay attention to them, they're not going to pay attention to you, right? I say this often to my team. If you don't work your business won't work for you. And that's absolutely true. A lot of times people sign up to work from home and work from home businesses that are completely legitimate and they don't have success, and then they quit and write it off as a scam and say, oh, it must have been a scam, or that doesn't work, it was a waste of money, whatever. And that's not necessarily true. I'm not saying there's not scams out there, because there are, but there are plenty of legitimate work from home businesses that people just don't have success with or fell at because they didn't work it, right? They expected a 10 to be on the right side of the equation, but they were putting in 1 plus 1 on the left side, which is never going to equal 10. It's always going to equal 2. So if you were sitting at a 2 today, or a 2 yesterday, and a 2 maybe last week, last month, last year, or for years now, and you're not able to understand or figure out why you can't ever get past the 2, it's because the actions that you're taking and what you're physically deciding and choosing to do action-wise in your life is a 1 plus 1, which is why you keep getting the 2. That goes directly hand in hand with what I said at the beginning of this video, which is if you want different results, you have to take different actions, right? So there's one key thing that I think really holds people back to answer that question, and that's neglect, right? Neglect in your business, neglect to pay attention, neglect to acknowledge your goals and work towards them. And here's a key word: deliberately, okay? You have to deliberately, on purpose, work towards accomplishing your goals, not just in your business and in your personal life. You want your marriage to be better, then you have to personally commit to, deliberately, on purpose, do something to change your situation, right? So that it's better. If you want better business, right, better outcomes, results in your business, then you have to, on purpose, do something to change that, right? And so here's something I want to quote. Actually, Jim Rohn talks about neglect, that it's like an infection. Left unchecked, it spreads throughout your entire system of disciplines and eventually leads to a complete breakdown of potentially joy-filled and a prosperous human life. And think about it, like, not doing the things that we know we should do makes us feel guilty, right? You have that guilty feeling, and then guilt leads to erosion of self-confidence. And as our self-confidence diminishes, so does our activity level, right? As our activity level diminishes, our results decline. And as our results suffer, our attitude weakens. And then as our attitude begins the slow shift from positive to negative all the time, our self-confidence diminishes, and even more, and it goes on and on and on and on. And that's just like the cycle of it. So we have to first start with stopping the neglect, right? We have to stop doubting ourselves, stop doubting our worth, stop thinking that we can't do something and not believing in ourselves, because you know what? We were all destined for greatness. You have everything that you need inside of you to be successful in your personal life and in your business life, right? So choose, decide to make the left side of the equation a 5 plus 5. So the right side, your results can be a 10 and not a 2 anymore, because 1 plus 1 will never equal 10. It will always equal 2, right? So I hope you guys have found some value out of this evening or this morning, however you want to look at it, whenever you're watching this, right? But I love you each. I appreciate you. Thank you for letting me come into your head, to your heart, to your home, and share my thoughts and my feelings and my visions and opinions with you. And if you're interested in working from home for yourself successfully, owning your own business like I do, you can go to www.crossthestart.com, and I'll be happy to help you on your way, on your path, on your journey. And if you're not, that's okay too. And I got to say this because there's some checks behind me, and because I've talked about my success in doing this for over 3 years now with no prior experience whatsoever, that my results are exceptional. And my results are exceptional because I choose to be exceptional. If you're interested in average, which I don't think most people are, but if you're interested in seeing what average people make, you can go to www.myincomeDisclosure.com. But again, I don't think anybody wants to be average. I think everybody wants to have the 10 on the right side of their equation. So let's start doing 5 plus 5 work, right, guys? I love you. I appreciate you. Have a fantastic Thursday, and we'll see you again soon in my next video. Bye-bye.